ONCA helps students clarify their goals, clarify the value of their past experiences, clarify their own strengths, and to do so through writing and imagining future pathways for themselves.
ONCA has really helped me in a variety of my application processes, starting off with the Goldwater program, which I received about a year ago now, which has helped me immensely through the rest of my time here. Helped me through getting an application to the Dad Rise program to spend a summer in Germany. Had an amazing time there over the summer working on chromatin mobility.
I received the Udall Foundation Scholarship Award, which is targeted for individuals in the fields of environmental issues, tribal public policy, and now I think healthcare. My relationship with ONCA and Anne specifically is tied around mentorship and storytelling, and Anne delivered and exemplified both of those extremely well. I believe I was referred to Anne during my first year and knew right away that the homework I would have to do as part of applying for the Udall scholarship, as well as some other awards that she encouraged me to try for, was going to be as demanding as a lot of my coursework, which I'm sure she probably warned me about.
I was really fortunate to work with Anne on multiple national competitive awards. I showed up to, I think, a Goldwater or Udall information session, and the deadline, I think, was maybe a few weeks later. And Anne said it was unlikely, but I did the work and she supported me, and I got to submit the application and was successful in earning the award. And I think a lot of that goes down to that mentorship that Anne gave everybody. She really put her heart into people's development and into encouraging them, and to really critically reviewing materials and thinking deeply about what our recommenders were saying and how to really leverage our strengths and finding those strengths in us even when we didn't see them in ourselves. And I remember the intro to one of my main essays, which to be fair, she was right, but she wrote in the margins trite, and I had to work from there to really build out that narrative of who I was and what I wanted to do. And she was there every step of the way through that process. I was really, really fortunate to be successful in getting a Marshall Scholarship, and Anne was by my side that whole way. I remember asking her before my interview in Chicago how to get a taxi. And down to that detail, she was there for us and shepherded us through that process and supported us and cheerleaded, and even told us when our essays were trite. I have so much adoration for Anne and so much gratitude and respect for everything that she did for me and for so many students from Ohio University.
Spending 10 months in Germany working on my dissertation project was such an incredible opportunity. I had never left the country before applying for the grant, so having the chance to live abroad made me much more culturally competent and gave me a lot of personal and professional skills that I wouldn't have developed otherwise. Thank you again. Your dedication to helping students carries on through the countless individuals that have been able to use the resource that you created to earn nationally competitive awards.
With the support of ONCA, I applied for and received the English Teaching Assistant Grant in Fulbright, Taiwan, and I renewed my grant to stay a second year teaching English at Wenchong Elementary School in Taipei, Taiwan. I am really thankful for this opportunity because I've gotten to engage in cross-cultural exchange and explore my passion for education. Throughout the application process, I learned how to have more confidence in myself, articulate my goals, and be proud of the work I put forth, no matter what the outcome.
I clearly remember sitting in Anne's office as a college freshman and her really pressing me to think about how I was going to make the most of the opportunities I had before me. I remember thinking it was a little curious that this woman cared so much about my professional development, and then quickly thought that I'd better care about it too. She introduced me to the scope and power of a 5-year plan, but she didn't stop there. She was with me each year, fresh with more coffee cards for someone else I should meet with, walking through it with me. She connected me with people to inspire me with their journey, help me organize my thoughts and revise and edit my writing, She held mock interview panels with people who made me feel like I had worthwhile things to say, and that my career path was important. She leveled the playing field for me. I got to choose my medical school, have part of it paid for, and spend my 20s living in San Francisco and attending UCSF Medical School. And this is in no small part thanks to Anne, her mentorship, and her friendship. I've been known as the person around clinic who will help aspiring medical students to work on their applications. Every time I coach someone like this, or even every time I sit with a patient and work on their health, or help my own children troubleshoot some small bit of 7-year-old life planning, I think about how I'm paying a small tribute to Anne.
I want to give a special thank you to the ONCA office for all their help that they provided me with throughout my 4 years at OU. With the help of Dr. Lewis and ONCA, I was able to apply for a NALCAP program, which basically provides students the opportunity to teach abroad in Spain for a year after graduating. I also was able to participate in the Gilman International Scholarship Program, which helped me study abroad for a semester in Spain.
Your overwhelming generosity in sharing your knowledge with me, with Chris Lewis, with anyone at Ohio University who has participated in the privilege of working with students as they think about pursuing opportunities that can change their lives and change the communities in which they work and serve is truly remarkable. I would not be the professional I am today and would not have had the ability to work with students who changed my life as well if it weren't for all of your efforts. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything that you've done for Ohio University students, faculty, and staff. Your work is truly remarkable and has changed lives for the better.
Through applying for these scholarships, even the ones I didn't win, I was able to make connections amongst all my experiences and gain such a sense of self-confidence in who I am as a student and a young professional. I have learned so much about myself and my goals and my aspirations once I was able to tie them all together and tell my story and what I want to do with my life and my passions. And so I wanted to say thank you for laying the groundwork for this amazing office because it has changed my time here at Ohio University.
I applied to a multitude of scholarships, yet one award in particular that I applied for is the Benjamin A. Gilman International Scholarship Program. I learned a lot through this process, especially how important preparation is key into sustaining a good application. Yet through great and extreme guidance of great leaders, I saw the beauty and purpose in staying true to myself and showing who I really am on paper this application process. And it's because of scholarships like this and because people like you make the dreams and realities of students like me possible. I know for certain that this opportunity of studying abroad would not have been possible if it wasn't for people like you and the scholarships that have granted me access to truly succeed and to make my dreams a reality. So thank you so much.
I received a Goldwater scholarship in 2003 and a British Marshall scholarship in 2004. On the British Marshall scholarship, I studied at Imperial College in London and received my PhD in experimental solid state physics. As I reflect on the time I spent with Anne Brown in the ONCA office, I am just so thankful for all of the encouragement and enthusiasm that Anne brought to the process of competing for a nationally competitive award. I don't think I would have applied for the British Marshall Scholarship if it hadn't been for Anne Brown. And thank you so much for your energy, your enthusiasm, for believing in me and for believing in all of the students that you gave the confidence to compete for a nationally competitive award.
Through studying abroad, I was able to meet an amazing group of people from all over the world, all of us working on the same things who, even if I'm never really able to see them in person for a while, they're going to be my colleagues in the same field for the rest of my life. And it's given me invaluable connections that I'm still able to make use of, giving us like a view of how research is done all over the world, having connections that I can talk to, show grants, show manuscripts to, get feedback from, and just talk about our life working through science.
I'd like to thank Anne Brown for her work and for founding ONCA.
Anne, thank you so much for founding the Office of Nationally Competitive Awards.
Thank you, Anne Brown, for 25 years ago founding the Office of Nationally Competitive Awards at Ohio University.
Anne has this way as a mentor. She's warm and gentle and open-hearted, and yet firm and clear in how she helps you think through your life paths. She's like a life coach. What she did with ONCA was so important to the growth and development of so many students, including me. She may have theoretically been there for the academic awards, but really what she exuded was this confidence and passion that every student could actualize themselves in a way that was empowered and authentic. Thank you, Anne, for your vision and your dedication to that cause.
I would like to give a special thank you to Anne Brown for founding the ONCA office in 1999. Thank you so much for all your hard work.
And thank you so much for all of you've done to support and encourage students to compete for nationally competitive awards.
Thank you so much, Anne Brown, for founding the Office of National Competitive Awards.
Thank you very much, Anne Brown, for founding ONCA.
Thank you for all of your work in founding ONCA.
Thank you, Anne, for being a champion, a mentor, and part of my life and my development.
Thank you, Anne, for establishing the Office of Nationally Competitive Awards at Ohio University.
Thank you, Anne, for all of your work with ONCA and for helping me, and I'm sure so many other students, believe in a new possible.